Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, I'm in my living room, and the reason it's like clean up here is because this is the wall that the projector projects on when we watch TV. So I wanted nothing up here that would cause a distraction or be in the way of being able to see the whatever we're watching, because I pushed the projector back against the wall. So it kind of takes up like this entire area. I wanted nothing up here obstructing the view. Or, if I'm sitting down watching TV and I see something, I'm like, man, I need to move that. And I'm not paying attention or whatever. But we have gotten majority of the things decluttered and out of the house. Moving forward, something that I do want to implement is having a donations bin. But I want to have a donations bin because it makes it easier that if I see something that I want to donate or I no longer want, I can put it in the bin. As well as for my son, I'm going to go over with him to help him to understand. If you have toys you don't want, or if you have clothes that no longer fit, they need to go in this bin. The bin is like right outside his door to his room, taken care of. We're going to implement that because I know there's more things in here that need to be decluttered and taken out of the house. It's just that I have so many things, right? So many things. But I wanted to get like the huge things out of the house, which were the dressers. And I'm so happy they're gone. Like our bedrooms, there's so much space. When I first walked into this apartment the day that we moved in, and before the movers came, I went into each room. I prayed over the apartment. That's something I'm going to implement moving forward. Prayerfully, the next place that I move is it. We're not moving after that. But I prayed over the home and I looked at the bedrooms in my room and his bedroom. His bedroom is considered a study, so technically it's a one bedroom, but there's two rooms. And his is just a little smaller. But it's like there's so much space. Like these rooms are huge, especially my room. I'm like, this is really huge. Then once we put all the stuff in there, it's like, where'd the space go? Where's the space? Why is there no space in here? Why does it feel like everything is just so tightly together? And it wasn't until I got the dressers out that I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not. No, I am not doing this again. When there's so many other ways to store clothes than in a dresser, I'm going to find a way. I am. So I'm going to tell y'all a story about when I initially had my son. So when he was born, right, of course he didn't have a whole lot of toys because he couldn't play with anything. But as he got a little bit older and started, being more mobile, I was accepting any and all toys. I was accepting everything, like the gate, the playpen, the mats, the puzzle mats that go on the floor, everything. And I'm like, it should have dawned on me then, as much as I have watched minimalism and declutter videos prior to when he was born, you would have thought that would have stuck with me once I had a child. But it's different. When it's just you by yourself, you have no kids, no spouse, no nobody, when it's just you by yourself, you're like, okay, cool. I obviously live a minimalist life. And I did, right? But then I had my son, and then I'm accepting all the toys, everything. It didn't dawn on me then, and it should have, especially as he got a little older and I was teaching him, to clean up. It would be that he would take out so many toys at one time and he wouldn't put them back. Of course, he's young. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. So, of course, he doesn't have the whole mindset like, oh, I need to put this up before I take something else out. He didn't know that. That's something that I have to teach him. And it became a thing where every time it was time to clean up, he would have a meltdown because he was overwhelmed with all the toys that he had, right? And so it was like every single time. And I got tired of it, but it still didn't dawn on me, Moniqua, get rid of some of these toys. It didn't. And in fact, now he's 8 years old, and now it's dawning on me. It's like, man, huh. Now, I will say, last year we did do a huge declutter of his toys in our previous apartment. So that was good. But it's just that now moving forward, we have to declutter more as he gets older and his interests change, right? And so I've had to explain to family, like, hey, do not buy him toys for his birthday, right? No toys. No. If you want to get him something, maybe get him some clothes or a gift card to this certain place, but do not buy him stuff because I'm going to tell you that's not coming in my house. It's not. It's not coming in my house. We're not doing that, right? And so having to really now be vigilant and put my foot down when it comes to buying things for him. So now that he has a lot less toys, there's a lot less overwhelm. But the thing is, it didn't dawn on me then. Like when you have kids, things change. Like the way that you lived before, that kind of goes out the window. And it's like a whole new chapter of your life. And the point of that story is as adults, when we have a lot of things that we have to keep up with, a lot of things that we have to clean, a lot of things that we have to move, to look for, to whatever. When you have a lot of things and clutter in your life, how are you able to do what the Most High wants you to do? How? How are you able to do that? When your life and your mind is filled with all the things that you have, as well as you have all these people, or there's things that are digital that you have, like all these things that you have to keep track of. How are you able to do that? Like the other thing, keeping track of all these passwords to all these different things. That's annoying. I am glad that there's now passkey, okay, on my iPhone where I can store all my passwords. I don't have to do all that. I don't have to remember because having to remember all that as well as everything else, and on top of that, have somewhere in my mind that's on the Most High, it's not possible. It's not. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not possible. You cannot do that. You can't. You absolutely cannot. And so, something that I have noticed with all of the things that we have gotten rid of, and I really kind of thinking back on it now, I should have done like a count of how much stuff I got rid of, but I was just trying to get rid of so many things quickly because I was stressed out. I will say that I was stressed out, and I don't like being stressed. I really don't. So I wish I had gone through and counted, but now that all that stuff is gone, my focus is better. I'm able to focus more on my son because I'm not cleaning and having to put this away and do all this. And like, I'm not having to do all that. I'm not. And it makes it easier, right? So, one thing I think I mentioned this that I used to be a reader. I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books on my bookshelf. And I only read them once. A lot of them I had not read and didn't plan to read because my interest changes so quickly when it comes to books that I was just buying books, but I would never get to read them. That's thousands of dollars that I did not get back. Even though I sold a lot of those books, I did not get that money back. That was a waste of money. So there goes me not stewarding my money well. And even having all these things that I did donate or threw away, that's also money. All of it is money. And it shows how poor we manage the money that the Most High gives us. It does. It really shows how poorly we manage the money He gives us. And that's something I have really wanted to start working on is my finances because y'all, these student loans, apparently they're not going anywhere. They're not. And now we have to actually start paying them back. There's no like forbearance period or anything like that anymore. And that's annoying. But I went to the college, I got the degree, I had to take out the loans. Now I have to pay them back. And I'm just like, mm, you know, that means I need to be more mindful of when I go and buy things. I need to really be like, do I need this thing? Is this thing going to be something that's for the long haul? Okay. Is it going to be something that's just temporary for right now and then I'm not going to need it later? I've had an issue with that. I have. I have stewarded my money in a way that I should not have. Now, I will say this I have gotten out of a lot of debt, almost six figures in, I think I started in 2015, so maybe 11 years, over six figures of debt. And that includes three cars, okay? Three cars. So I will say that my money habits are not terrible because I've been able to do those things. But at the same time, it's like they're not great. They're not where they should be. And that's something that I want to work on. So being mindful of the things that I buy and the things that come into this house. So there's just a lot of things that I want to put in place moving forward. And I feel like it's easier that my son is 8. And so now I'm starting him early on these things because I'm helping him to understand like, you don't have to have all of these things. And I think like a couple of days ago, he was like, are we getting rid of all of these things because we don't need them? Or so he worded something like that. Like he understood what I had told him. And so me telling him that and also putting that into action and him helping me as we get rid of these things and going to the donation places, he understands. And so I'm stressing to him like you have when you get older and you have your own job, you have to steward your money well and think about the things that you buy. So, one thing that I know is that, before we do anything, we're supposed to ask the Most High, right? We're supposed to pray and ask Him, like, hey, is this something that I'm supposed to do? Is this a good decision? Is this a good choice? Having discernment. We don't do that. We don't. We do not do that. We just go and do what we want to do on our own and then look at the place that we end up in. A house full of stuff that you don't use. You done wasted thousands of dollars on things that you don't use, that you probably used once, or you bought it on impulse buy, or it was on sale, or what have you, right? And you didn't ask him. You didn't ask his permission. We don't ever ask his permission before we do stuff. Who can honestly say they sit there and really ask the Most High before every decision that they make, including when it comes to spending your money? Who can say they ask him? I can't. I'll be the first one to say, I can't say that because I don't. I don't. So let's look at a few things. So behind the couch, a lot of this stuff was up front by the wall. And I was like, you know what? I don't want that to be in sight. So we have the projector here. It's a very small one, very, very small projector on a stand. And then we have our workout mats, the arts and crafts bin, all that's arts and crafts. My son's manipulatives for when we do math. And he has like this photo box that has flashcards in them, as well as these sticky post-it papers. So when I was teaching, I loved these. I can make anchor charts and I could tear it off and stick it on the wall because it's a post-it. It's like an oversized post-it. Love these because when we're working on something, I can just put this on the wall and he can see it. So that is what I put behind here. That stuff was already here. There's just a stand there that has the router, an air purifier, and the lamp that goes behind there. So I'm gonna leave all that stuff there for now. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it there permanently. We'll see. Or I might move something to my son's closet because a lot of this stuff is his. So it might go in his closet now that it's clean. Okay. So here is the donation bin. And there's already something here that I do want to donate. There's already something in there too. So my son's room, and so he sees this. It's a reminder. I am going to put like a label on it that says donation bin. So he understands, hey, this does not fit anymore. Put it in the bin. But make sure it's clean. Okay. All right, so this is my room, and if you remember when I was talking about my dressers, I had this huge dresser up here. It is gone. Oh, I'm thankful. It is gone. So I put up all of my artwork here. I did have it around the room, kind of like a museum, but I have other artwork on the walls that is mine, or one of them is something I ordered. Another one is just my pregnancy photos and other artwork that I painted. But I kind of made like I guess you call it a mural, a collage, right? So there's nothing here. The only thing that really goes here is my um, collapsible or foldable desk when I do Bible study. So that goes there, and my bike. Y'all, let me tell you, let me give you a picture of how big this room is. So coming into the room, this is how big this room is. It is really big. And that dresser was huge. And I had more stuff in here, a dresser, a nightstand, like a bunch of things in here that I have since gotten rid of, right? I have my paper shredder. I use that as a nightstand now. My bookshelf, right? I had a rug down here. One of the rugs in my previous video that I talked about, well, why do you put a rug on top of carpet? Sure did. Yeah, all of that in here. That's really it. So I really do want to have like a sit down video and really dive in and talk about decluttering your life, not just the physical things in your home, decluttering your heart, decluttering your mind, decluttering your friends, decluttering your family. Because yes, you can declutter your family, you absolutely can. There's nothing wrong with it. And don't let anybody tell you any different, because you can, you know. And it's all of this is about having more room to do what the Most High wants me to do, to have more brain space. So I have all this noise in my head about, all of my thoughts of things I need to do. I need to clean this. I need to put this away. I need to make sure my son stays on top of putting all these, like not having to do all of that. I can focus more time on the Most High and what He wants me to do, as well as teaching my son what the Most High wants him to do, as well as just spending more time with my son. I do want to really start spending more time outside and not spending so much time in the house. So, that's what I have for y'all.